trying to be the fucking video editor right here.
Yeah, well, Reverend Louis is not allowed to speak in church anymore. Okay, everybody, we gotta just hit a little kumalala, 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 kum. Okay, I'm getting distracted. Alright, no more distracting. Lord, give me some peace, please. So, welcome back to church, everyone. Woo! Welcome back. Welcome back, everybody online. If this is your first time, welcome. I hope hope we can be your new home for church. If not, it's probably because of this video. Maybe watch the other ones and see. But welcome back, everyone. So this week I've kind of wanted to start a new series as, gosh, okay, reel it in, no more podium. I'm trying. I really am trying not to. The problem is I drank some caffeine earlier, man. Normally I don't have caffeine on these days. Okay. Kind of have to take a piss, if I'm being honest. Okay, we're good. We're good. Okay, let's reel it back in. Reel it back in again. Sorry. So we're starting a brand new series, at least for like a few weeks. It's going to be about the fruits of the Spirit, learning those. I'm not going to make one message per each like fruit, because I mean it would be like like 9 weeks, I think. I'm not going to count, actually. I forgot how to count. But it would be like a few more weeks than I think it should take, because some of them kind of go in together. So the fruits of the Spirit are love, joy,
Faithfulness.
Okay, no, hold on. You're going way out. Love, joy, peace, patience, kindness, goodness, faithfulness, gentleness, self-control. 9. I did say 9 weeks. Bow. Sorry, I just watched Fantastic Four. So I had to do this. I watched Fantastic Four not that long ago. Best Fantastic Four I've seen. Welcome back after the cut. All right, so we're more focused now. We're more on the rails. So today we're going to be going through patience. We live in a world that's full of instant gratification, right? We have fast food, we have same-day delivery, instant messaging, and it's made us more impatient than we even realize. For example, the drive-thru takes too long and we get aggravated, because we're like, dude, you can't freaking make me a burger in 2 minutes? What's wrong with you? So that's what happens, right? Or, for example, the message doesn't send and we get aggravated. We're like, dude, how much I pay for this, and you're not going to send my freaking message, Sorry for saying freaking. I'm trying not to. Sorry, I guess. Or the person we send it to takes a while to read it, which I will admit I'm guilty of that. I definitely, take a while to read certain messages. I know, like, especially with someone like Joe, sometimes he'll send me a message and I'm like, dude, not gonna lie, I'm gonna get back to you after the summer. And that's what I did a few times, is when we were on break for school, is I wouldn't text him for a whole summer because I would forget. And I don't mean to, but I just be forgetting, really. Anyway, so we do that, we get angry, we get annoyed and impatient. Or, for example, the delivery gets delayed and it's really aggravating because all you want is your Beat Studios that you ordered so that you could have your headphones for the gym on the cruise, and they don't come in, which makes you frustrated and aggravated and impatient. And this may or may not have happened to me on a recent cruise I went on with my brother, Reverend Louis, over here. And I was really aggravated because they said they'd come in before the cruise. And, like, when you have over the head, like, Beats on, or whatever, yeah, it's over the head. Over the ear. My bad. I was thinking of Over the Hedge. Fire movie, by the way. We're off the topic of movies, sorry. Over the ear. Oh, my ADHD is actually running really bad. Okay. So, and they're not helping. Over the ear headphones, right? Like, going from those back to earbuds is hard for me. Like, I can't do it because I'm so, like, locked in when I got over the ear ones. And then when I go, I have, like, the first AirPods ever made. So that's not, they don't really cancel out noise. But basically, when I like going from those to earbuds is hard for me because like I'm like, dude, I'm getting distracted by every little sound that like I can't be like locked in. So it was kind of hard for me. The point I'm trying to make is it's very easy to be impatient and to try to rush whatever it is that we have going on. But this isn't trusting in God's timing, but rather we're relying on our own, saying that we can get there quicker, saying that, God's timing is not good enough for us. But this isn't true. In fact, there are many instances where being impatient has led to us missing key things that we would have seen had we have just waited a second or, just trusted in God. I mean, just think about, for example, I know we've been like kind of goofing off, but it's about to get more serious. Like, let's say a car accident happens, right? And you're like, wow, if I would have left 5 minutes earlier, I would have been in this. See, look how good it was that you were patient, that you waited 5 more minutes, even though your job is calling you saying, dude, you're 30 minutes late. What the heck? You're like, no, I had like 5 more minutes, right? But, the burnt toast theory, whatever that means,
It means like,
no, it's fine. They can hear you, I
okay,
think.
it means basically like, so let's say you're about to go to work, or you're getting ready for work, doing your morning routine, and then you're doing toast and it burns. And then let's say a fatal accident just happens, but you weren't a part of it because your toast burnt and you had to make another piece of toast. It happens for
It's like God being like, yo,
it's like
take those 5 minutes real quick.
exactly.
Like things like that. So
Yeah.
that essentially that's what I would compare it to.
Yeah.
Is God's timing is like him saying, wait a second, wait just 5 more minutes, wait, because guess what? I burnt that piece of toast for you, but it's for a good reason. Although it seems sucky, although you're aggravated in the moment because you wasted food and stuff, but God's saying, although you're aggravated in the moment, I'm gonna show you why it was good that you were patient, why it was good that you trusted in my timing in you. It's a beautiful picture of burnt toast that Brooke just pulled up there.
Hey, good job.
Anyways, though, patience isn't about just waiting, though. It's about how we wait, faithfully, prayerfully, and with trust in God. So I have a few examples, of course, like usual. First off, we have Job, again, brought up probably too much at this point. He remained faithful throughout all the suffering that he went through. And that takes a lot of patience to have all that stuff taken from you and to be going through something so incredibly like life-changing and just crappy and everything. And the fact that he lost everything, but he remained patient and faithful throughout. He was patient through his suffering. When life doesn't go our way, do we lash out or do we lean on God as a crutch? Another example I have is Abraham, who, in my opinion, was the definition of patience. I mean, he waited 25 years before the promise that God gave him was fulfilled. That's longer than I've been alive. Now, Louis been alive longer than that.
Hey, I'm 25.
By about a few months because he's low-key unk, if we're being honest. But yeah, that's literally longer than I've been alive. So like my whole life from when I basically was like dead as a newborn. But basically my whole life from when I was born and till now, and I'm still 6 years away from how long it took God to fulfill that promise for Abraham. And he was patient. When Abraham, there were a few times, of course, when Abraham and Sarah both got impatient, and they tried to do things their own way. And obviously, that probably is what delayed it a little bit longer too. But ultimately, they did remain faithful throughout. And and we're shown that although the promise was delayed, it was not denied. They were patient, and they had the son that was promised, and many descendants, just as Abraham was promised. So all that waiting he had to go through was worth it in the long run because God showed him. Oh, I'm out of frame. My bad. God showed him right then and there, like, you waited this long, I'm gonna bless you even more. Count like even more than we would have thought. All the stars in the sky. That's how many descendants you're gonna have. Go ahead, count the stars. It might take you a while. Another example I have. Sorry, this podium, man. Okay. Okay, and we're gonna go to this. So Joseph, he was patient in the pit and in prison. He was betrayed by his brothers. Do I have this on? Oh, I do. Okay. He was betrayed by his brothers, falsely accused, and forgotten in prison. But even after going through all of that, he never lost his faith. He stayed faithful and patient and was later elevated to a very high position in Egypt because he waited. Even when people whoa, hold on. Sorry, I just lost my spot. Sorry. Even when people when people do what is wrong, patience helps us trust that God will bring out purpose from the pain. Even like when we feel wronged, right? Even when we feel like we're going the wrong way and we feel like, man, like this pain, it's so much and I'm so off the track and stuff and there's no way I can get back. But patience helps us trust that God will bring out purpose from the pain, just like with Joseph. Joseph, I mean, look at how crappy like everything that he went through was, and he went from being like the most loved son in like the family, even though like I wasn't like Jacob didn't want to like mention it, but he was like really really loved and was favored in his brother's eyes, at least was favored. And he went from being that kid to being sold into slavery and being in jail and being falsely accused and going through stuff that probably seemed like, oh, there's no way that I can be uh elevated from this position. I mean, I was falsely accused, like there's no way I can be up in this position. But I like what he says in these verses, what Joseph says, Genesis 50, verse 20, and I'm just going to do like the first part of it. As for you, you meant evil against me, but God meant it for good. Because Joseph was patient and he waited until the whole plan had been fulfilled and stuff. He waited patiently, and it was years that went by throughout all this. And because he was patient, the stuff that was meant to wrong him and the stuff that seemed like so harmful to him actually made him stronger and elevated him to a position that he wouldn't have been at. And again, what they meant for evil against him, God meant for good, and he turned it out to be good for him. Another example I have is Noah. He had to build a huge ark, and this likely took many, many years. He was mocked and he was laughed at the entire time. Noah had to wait and persevere through not only the build process and preparation of the ark, but through the others who thought he was stupid for preparing for rain and flooding because it was something that had never happened before. Um, and I know, like, living in Florida, like, we can't even imagine not having rain, pretty much. I mean, it's literally been like a day without rain, by the way, and it's like 100 degrees. So, like, it's it's terribly hot right now. I'm not gonna lie, but yeah, but we can't even imagine being without rain because it pretty much rains every day. When it's like usually during this time of year rains every day, which it kind of has, but I don't think it rained today, or maybe it did. I don't know. I forgot.
No,
Didn't rain today. Yeah, so so yeah, it's like I said, they were thinking, oh, you're stupid, basically. And of course, even after he was done building it, even after Noah was done building it, he had to wait a long time for the waters to finally recede. Like after the flooding and stuff, he had to wait even longer. And I bet, sometimes during that, I know like my reaction would be like, hey, God, this water's taking a long time to recede. Is this like the new normal now? Like, what are we doing? Like, because it took so long. Patience is obeying God even when results don't come quickly and even when others think it's stupid or pointless. Another example I have is Hannah. She was barren, yet she prayed every day that the Lord would bring her a child. She didn't lash out, she didn't give up, but rather she poured her soul out to God. And surely enough, she was given a son. Patience often involves persistent, faith filled prayer, even when nothing seems to change. And it's just about persevering through that and realizing, I know I've been asking for this for years, and maybe it'll take even a few more years, but It's about having that faith to know, you know what, I'll get there. Having that motivation, having that mindset. You know what, I'll get there. With God, I'll get there. Another example I have is David. He was patient. He was anointed as king at a young age, but he had to wait years before taking the throne. And he did all this while fleeing from Saul, who was trying to kill David. But David honored God's timing and he refused to take matters into his own hands. And even when he had numerous opportunities to kill Saul, patience requires us to trust in God's timing and process, not forcing our own way. Patience builds character. It keeps us from making hasty decisions. It teaches us to trust in God's timing. Patience is an important fruit of the Spirit to understand and to express or radiate to others. Now, how can we be patient? We got to recognize that God's timing is perfect. First and foremost, we got to recognize that His timing is perfect, that it can't be thwarted. Surrender your control and trust that God sees the full picture. Trust that even though, like this path right here, right now, it seems like such a good path, and it's full of lush, green, and there's waterfalls. But as soon as I pass that first curve, all desert, nothing good over here, nothing good. But this path right here, it's all desert right now, and it's looking bad. It's looking like me, God, I probably shouldn't go on this path. I probably shouldn't walk over here. But on that other side of that path is that lushful green and the waterfalls and all this beauty is on that other side. You just got to be patient and trust that you'll get through this side, even though it seems I'm out of frame, even though it seems bad over on this side. Just trusting in God to know that, you know what, I trust that on this other side that there's going to be way much better things on this other side, as long as I can just get through this desert real quick. As long as I can get through this desert, be patient through it. So he sees full picture. We should also practice prayerful waiting. Don't just wait passively, but pray to him. Don't be anxious, just pray to him, ask him, come to him. Like, that's what he is there for. He's our crutch to lean on, to ask why this, and to ask, God, I've been waiting for this job opportunity for years, or I've been waiting for like my next step in ministry, or what should I do, something schooling wise, should I join this, join that? Ask him, pray to him. Even if he doesn't respond on that first prayer, keep praying, keep praying, keep praying. I promise you he'll give you an answer. Slow down your reactions as well. Be patient. Slow down, what you're reacting to. Let your options kind of, float. Let your options muster up. Pause before responding in frustration, which really that goes with self-control, but I have it in here. Meditate on God's promises. Whatever promises he's made, he's going to fulfill them, and he's made that clear many times. Meditate on that. Ask God, hey, like, I'm having trouble wading through here. Like, I know that you can get me this. I know, I just got to trust in you. Help me do that. How do I do that? Help me trust in you, Lord. Help me to stay on that path that you have me on, because I keep going my own way. I keep being impatient and it keeps not working. And I'm reminded again and again that I got to be patient. These are all good steps to take to be more patient, though. Patience, it isn't weakness, it's spiritual strength. It's easy to trust God when things are moving fast, but real faith is revealed in the waiting. Are you in a season of waiting or hurt or uncertainty? Be patient. He's not punishing you, he's preparing you. Grow in patience, not in bitterness. Jesus loves you, and I promise you, if you just be patient right now, if you be patient and trust that, you know what, I think I use this example like every service at this point, but even though there's this dark tunnel that I'm trying to get through, and I mean, I can't see a thing, but it's about being patient and knowing that there is an end to this tunnel, that there is light on that side. That's about being patient through that and waiting through that and being not waiting passively, but waiting prayerfully, and understanding that God's timing is perfect, that breakthrough is coming, and that He won't leave you. He's not going to leave you. He's not going to forsake you. He's not going to leave you in your own, stuff. He's right there. He's right there. Just wait patiently. I promise you that breakthrough is coming, and whatever it is that you need, you know, all these examples I've brought up. I mean, they've all been patient in situations that I'm not gonna lie, I can't say that I could be patient in yet, and that's something that I got to work on in myself and be more patient with because you know many of these scenarios in here, I know it's hard to be patient. I never said it's an easy thing. These fruits of the spirit, they're not easy to convey a lot because we get aggravated and all these things happen. Everything just seems like it's coming up against us, and I know it gets hard, but I promise you, even just pausing in your day, having that patience, and just realizing, you know what, maybe the reason why, like the burnt toast theory, maybe the reason why I didn't get the job opportunity in this area is because this was bad. This was a bad corporation. This was bad. This would have been bad for me, for my family, for everything. Burnt toast theory again, but God had me wait and wait patiently, and He gave me something that is worth way more, something that fills me way more, something that I love way more than what I would have had here. So I promise you all, just wait patiently. Jesus loves you. He's not leaving you. He's right there with you. So yeah, that's gonna be a message today. Love y'all.